In this video, we are going to learn how to do basic operations in geometry. We start by clicking the geometry icon to go to the geometry module. In geometry, we see the drawing functions: a line, a circle or arc, a box, an ellipse and a spline. We start with a line. We indicate the line icon, and the sub-functions for the line are displayed on the left. We select the first sub-function, which is line 2 points. The right button is always used for the available functions, and we define the point type. We select Indicate, and we indicate on the screen the first point and the second point for each line. With the right button, we change the definition of the point to a node, and we draw lines from one node to another. A node can also be the end of a line. With the right button, we change the point definition to a mid-curve, and we connect the middle of one line to the middle of another line. We can also change point definitions and connect from the middle of a line to a node. We go to the circle arc function. The sub-functions for the circle arc are displayed on the left, and we select the first one, center and radius. We type 125 millimeters for the radius, and the point type is defined as a node. We draw circles of 125 millimeters radius, where the center of the circle is a node. We change the radius to 200 and the point type to center, and we draw the circle at the center of another circle. When we draw, we can always use the undo function by using the icon, the right button undo function, or Ctrl Z. To trim, we use the right button trim function. To trim a section between two nodes, we locate the cursor in the middle between the two nodes, and we use the trim function. To trim a section all the way from a node, we use the trim function next to the node in the direction that we want to trim. To trim the complete line, we use the trim function at one end. In the right button function, you see next to trim the word mid. This means that we can use the middle button as a shortcut for trim. We now use the middle button to trim sections of lines and circles, or to delete lines and circles or arcs. As we draw, we can always undo. Now that we have learned so much, we are going to draw a part to be cut. We use the delete function with subfunction delete all to clean the screen. We start the drawing of the part by drawing a box. We select the box function, which starts with point type key in. Using the left button on the screen, we key in 0 and 0 coordinates for the first point of the box and 200 and 100 millimeters for the second point. For a better view, we use the graphic functions. For zoom box, we go from the first point of the box, keeping the left button down and releasing it at the other edge of the box. We also use the full screen icon and the half size icon, where we indicate the center location for half size. To get a triangular part, we use the line 2 points function and node for point type. We connect one node of the triangle to the opposite node and trim two edges of the rectangle to create a triangle. Next, we want to have a round hole in the triangle. To define the center, we use the parallel line function. Set the offset at 40 millimeters and create the parallel line by indicating close to the line and on the side where we want to create the line. It is the same as we do for the horizontal line, and we get the center of the round hole. With the center of the hole defined, we use the center and radius function for circle. Key in 30 millimeters for the radius and node for point type and draw the circle for the round hole. To delete the two lines that define the center of the hole, we use the delete function and subfunction delete in box. We form a box that deletes the two lines. To have fillets in the corners of the triangle, we use the fillet trim in function circle. We key in a 40 millimeter radius and click on the lines that create the corner. In the same way, we create a fillet of 5 millimeter radius on the other two corners. Now we have a nice part in the shape of a triangle with a round hole that we can later cut. To draw another part, we erase the screen with the delete all function. We start by drawing a line 2 points with key in for point type, and we draw a horizontal line from coordinate 0, 0 to coordinate 150 and 0. Using the circle by center and radius function with node for point type, we draw a circle of 50 millimeters radius around one end of the line. Using the same method, we draw a circle of 75 millimeters radius. In the same way, we draw a circle of 15 millimeters radius and a circle of 30 millimeters radius around the other end of the line. We go to the full screen function, and now we want to connect the outer circles with the line above and below to get a nice part with two round holes. To create the part, we need to connect the two outer circles with lines. For that, we go to the line function and look for the subfunction that will do it. A line tangent to two curves is the right one, and we connect the outer circles above and below. To complete the part, we use the trim function in the middle of the section of the outer circles that we need to trim. And we have managed to draw a very nice part with two round holes that we can cut.